This powder is an actual miracle worker. How is it that it works so instantly? So in today's video, we are talking about a brand new setting powder that actually makes you look more awake. And I'm so excited about this, you guys, because guess what? The powder in question is from my own brand, Nikkia Cosmetics. Introducing officially our brand new Velvet Brightening Powder. This is a setting and a finishing powder that actually color corrects and brightens the skin. So this will cancel out dark under eye circles, it will cancel out tiredness, it will cancel out dull, sallow skin, but at the same time, it's got all of the amazing qualities of our original Velvet finishing powder. So it will lock your makeup in place, it will prevent shine, it will prevent oil, it will hold your makeup in place all day long, it will minimize texture, it will minimize pores. It kind of does everything. Now, I'm obviously going to be getting into all the nitty-gritties. I'm going to show you a really in-depth demonstration of just how well this works at cancelling dark under eye circles, lifting the face, brightening the face, and making you look more awake. And I guarantee you, it is literally instant. But before we do that, I just quickly wanted to run through a couple of aspects of this powder, just in case you are not already familiar with the formula. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while here, or you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I have my own brand, Nikkia Cosmetics, which I am so proud of. We do ship worldwide. We came out with our original Velvet finishing powder. I actually think it's 4 years ago now, which is crazy exciting. And this is a setting powder that I created after spending over 10 years as a makeup artist, really testing every formula on the market and not finding something that I was exactly 100% happy with. I'm an oily skin type, right? I've got textured skin, I've got enlarged pores, and a lot of the powders that were on the market that were targeted towards oily skin types were just very drying, and then throughout the day just didn't keep things looking blurred, didn't, minimize my pores, minimize my texture, and they just looked really cakey and powdery. Like, sure, they would control the oils, but I still wanted my skin to look perfect and not cakey. So that is how our original Velvet finishing powder was born. This is loaded with skincare ingredients, and our new brightening formula is loaded with all of those same skincare ingredients. We've got vitamin A, vitamin E, aloe vera, coconut aminos, sweet almond oil. So much skincare packed into this formula to hydrate and nourish the skin while you wear it, whilst at the same time it blurs literally all texture, all pores. It makes your skin look like velvet, and it locks your makeup in place all day. It is triple milled. Most setting powders are only milled once or twice, so you don't actually get that really perfect blurred finish. It's kind of like Photoshop in a jar. I know so many of you have already tried this. I know so many of you already love this, so I'm sure I don't need to go into too much detail. I will link my original video down below of our original formula launch and sort of all the in-depth details about it. But our brand new brightening version of the powder is actually tinted pink. I've used pink and violet pigments in this one to get the most perfect balance of brightening and color correcting results. We're going to get into all of that in a minute, but our brand new baby, she's officially available. It does come in our original packaging. Again, if you're new to my brand, you will not have seen any of this. The packaging, I'm so proud of her, honestly. This is what she looks like, the external box, and it's soft touch matte finish. I just feel so nice. You've got like cute details all on the inside of the box there. You pull her out, and this is our little baby right here. But let's jump into the part that you're all here for, a side-by-side demo of just how well this works. So as you can see on my face here, I've got darkness just right on the inner corner, sort of underneath my eyes here. Normally, I could definitely use concealer to cover this up, and you can definitely use this powder in conjunction with a concealer as well. But for the purpose of today's video, I'm actually going to show you this on my skin without adding any concealer. Now, as part of this demo also, I wanted to quickly talk about the actual shade of our powder. It's a little different to other pink powders that are on the market. Now, I have done so much testing to get this right. Have a look at this. These are all batch samples that I went through, that I tested different shades of pink, cool tone pigments, warm tone pigments, mixing them to try and get this absolutely perfect. And we finally landed on the one that I'm just absolutely obsessed with. The thing that I have found with other pink powders on the market is that they're just far too pink, because not everybody wants that really bright pink look underneath their eyes. That has been a 2023 trend of having like really pink under eyes. Personally, for me, because I'm an olive skin tone and I'm older, that look doesn't really work for me. And a lot of the other pink powders on the market that I've tested and I've used, when setting my under eyes with them, they've just been way too pink. Here's a little example of a very popular competitor. See how pink this powder actually is? I might actually zoom in. And here is ours. See how this is like bright pink? Like literally on me, this looks like blush. when I put this underneath my eyes, it actually makes my skin pink, whereas ours harnesses the powder of that pink brightening effect, but without actually tinting the skin pink. And then I've got another one here. Again, you can see quite a vast color difference between the two. This again leaves my skin looking, whoa, I'm dropping it everywhere. Leaves my skin looking pink, whereas ours brightens and lifts and it makes you look more awake, and it definitely color corrects and cancels out the darkness, but without actually leaving a pink hue on the skin. And the way that we've achieved this is we've actually mixed both pink and violet pigments in at the perfect balance. It's still got some warm tone pigments in there. Mixing those different pigments together has allowed us to really achieve like the result. Basically, what I want you to get out of this is our powder is not going to actually make your skin look pink. It's going to cancel, it's going to brighten, it's going to color correct, it's going to get rid of those dark tones, but it's going to do it without actually leaving your skin a different color. Now, as far as application method, very, very simple. You can use this to bake, absolutely, or you can actually use it to lightly set your entire face. I personally would recommend using our original velvet finishing powder to set the rest of the face, and I'll quickly show you a side by side of the colors. So our original velvet finishing powder, again, will not leave a color on the skin, and then our brand new brightening formula. For me personally, I use this on certain areas of my face, so underneath my eyes typically, I use it underneath my contour, and I like to actually use it to sort of chisel and contour and highlight my nose and a little bit through the T-zone as well. But we're going to go through all of that. Now, as I was saying, application method, one of my favorite ways to do this is using our perfecting sponges because it's just so perfect to really set underneath the eyes. You can fold these and get them down the bridge of the nose. You can do sort of all areas of the face. You can get a really nice sharp chiseled line underneath your contour. So it works amazing on the perfecting pass, but it also works very, very well with our original perfecting sponges. Or alternatively, again, you can just use a brush. It's totally up to you. So what I actually like to do with this one is I pick up our perfecting path and I will dip it into the powder. You can dip it directly into the top of the powder like that, or you can just use excess powder on the lid and pick it up that way. And then usually what I'll do with that is I'll pop it on the back of my hand and I'll just sort of tap off the excess. You can actually see as I'm doing this just how crazy bright that has already made the back of my hand. See this area of my hand? It's pretty much completely canceled those purple and dark blue like veins that run through the back of my hand there, and it's just brightened the whole area. Like it works really, really well. This new brightening formula can be used on all skin tones, but obviously if you are a dark or deep skin tone, you're going to get quite an intense brightening result. You can actually brighten and highlight with our original formula or the new one. It just depends on how intense you want it, but yeah, totally okay for all skin tones. And if you've got a very fair skin tone, it's actually amazing to set the entire face, because I know a lot of you with very fair skin tones struggle to find setting powders that don't actually darken down your concealer and the rest of your foundation. You're going to love this. It's going to work wonders for you. But once I've sort of dusted off the rest of the excess, and like I said, you can actually use this to bake as well, I'll just go straight into my eye and I'll just start pushing that powder into the skin. It's honestly so straightforward and easy. And don't worry if you've gone a little bit hard with the powder and you're like, oh my God, I've used way too much. It's actually a translucent formula, so you can dust off any excess and it still works fine. But pressing that into the skin, and I kind of just go backwards and forwards, and I do like to sweep it out to the outer corner of the eye, just still patting, setting down all of that foundation that I had on there, setting down any other makeup, sweeping out. And see how not only instantly that has brightened and color corrected that darkness I had under there, but not only has that color corrected, brightened and canceled that dark under eye, see how all of that texture is completely gone. There are no wrinkles, there are no fine lines, there are no pores. Pretty much everywhere where I have applied that powder, it locks your makeup in so incredibly well, and it makes your under eyes look so smooth and bright at the same time. It's just instant results. Like this side, if I cover up this side of my face, see how bright and awake and wide-eyed I look in comparison to this side where I look quite tired, quite sleepy, and you can really, really see that darkness and that shadow that forms underneath my eye. So here's my eye before, quite tired. Here is my eye after, bright, awake. All of that darkness is gone. Now, like I said, you can go one step further and actually layer the powder over a concealer. So let's show you how well that works as well. This is my Kosas concealer. I've actually been really enjoying this lately. Still absolutely obsessed with these sponges for blending any kind of liquid or cream product. It's really the only sponge that I've found. I mean, obviously, like, you know, we made it, but they've got micro pores. It's a micro pore texture, so they're actually a lot softer, and the pores in the sponge are a lot smaller than most sponges, and it just gives the most amazing, amazing airbrush finish. These are obviously available on our website as well, but here we go. almost the same results. Like you can pretty well see that pink powder has given me very similar results to just using a concealer and without setting it. So this is only the powder, and then this is the concealer. I'm going to add the powder on top. So taking that again and pressing it underneath that. How about we bake too, so I can really, really show you. She's pretty well good to do anything. You can layer it on and then let it really sit on the skin like a baking powder. Don't worry, it's not going to get cakey. It's not going to get clumpy. It's not going to, you know, get yuck basically, but you can bake, layer it on. And this is great for when you accidentally apply too much, but then go in with your powder brush. Just dust off the excess because it is a semi-translucent powder as well, and it will color correct and brighten, but it won't actually leave a pink on the skin, which I absolutely hate. Like nobody wants like pink lines underneath their eyes. But see how both my under eyes now look very bright, very wide-eyed, very open, very awake. It just works so well. All the texture's gone. It feels incredibly velvety smooth. This has all got to do with like the skincare that we've loaded into this product and how it's triple milled and the shape of the silica in it and everything. There's actually a lot of science that goes into this stuff, and you can also totally layer this multiple times, which I will show you as well. I'm going to quickly do bronzer and blush, and then I'll come back and show you how I use it to cut the cheeks out. Okay. All right. So picking up the powder again, and again using one of our perfecting puffs. See how at the minute my bronzer, it's sort of all over the shop. You can't really tell like where my cheekbone's meant to start. Oh, hang on, let me get my hair out of the way. Where my cheekbone is meant to start and finish. You sort of figure out, you know, where you want your contour to be and just stamp the powder on. Dust off the excess. But see how sharp and defined this cheekbone looks, and even my jawline, it looks so sharp and defined in comparison to this side where it's sort of like a bit wishy-washy and you can't tell where it is. Your face is just lifted and sculpted and it's instant, and all it is this powder, and it doesn't actually, like, you don't look like you've got like a stripe of pink on your face or you've done anything too obvious. Like even front on, look at the difference. Like look at how much like, oh, I just love it. And then last but not least, let's do the nose. And like I said, I know, I get it. Sometimes you contour your nose and you're like, okay, I've literally colored the whole thing with bronzer, right? I know. So I've literally folded my powder puff in half and I've got a tiny little bit on the edge. Like it's really, really easy. Just run that down the center of the bridge of your nose there and sort of just pushing it into the skin, and then dust off the excess. Bang. I have a contoured and highlighted nose. I'm just going to pop a little blush on my face here as well. And I'm actually going to layer it again because you can still use this as a touch-up powder as well. You don't have to only, you know, use a brightening powder when you first put your makeup on. You can totally touch up with this during the day. You know how sometimes it gets to the afternoon and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm looking a little tired. I need a little pick-me-up. You can use it like this. So back into the powder again, and then layering it under my eye, and then dusting the excess. Bright, wide-eyed, awake, sculpted cheek. This side is everything, honestly. You can layer it pretty much anywhere you want and just target those brightening results. And don't stress about flashbacks. You do not get a flashback under flash photography. I'll pop a picture on the screen where I have taken under like really intense blinding flash. There is no white cast or flashback. Your under eyes will just look brightened. I really am just so incredibly proud of this. Every single time I use it, I'm like, how? I have imposter syndrome, okay? Big time imposter syndrome. Obviously, you know, with any launch video that I do for you guys, the product is always available to shop right now. So right now you can go on our website, Nikkia Joy Cosmetics, and pick this up for yourself. It is available in bundle format. So you can actually purchase this in combination with our perfecting puffs if this is how you want to apply it, or with one of our perfecting sponges. These do come as a duo pack. It also comes bundled with our original velvet finishing powder, or as a powder trio with our pressed powder as well. I can't believe that we've got 4 iterations of our velvet finishing powder now. We've got the original loose, we've got the original loose unscented, we've got the pressed, and now we have the brightening. Oh, my babies. I keep having children. Okay. But there are lots of options available. We do have free shipping over a certain minimum spend, and we do ship worldwide. There's Afterpay, there's Klarna, and we've got an amazing customer service team. So if you've got any questions that you want answered, if you're having any issues on the website or anything like that, we've got PayPal, like you can pay with your card. Literally, it's all set up. Any which way you want to pay or any which question you've got, we're here to answer them for you. And I'm just so excited to finally be able to bring this to you after what seems like an endless slog of making this perfect and making this exactly how I wanted it to be. And like, just honestly, I feel like the results speak for themselves, and it just feels so good, and you look so bright and awake, and I feel like when I use it, it makes me look younger. I feel like it makes me look healthier, like I've been eating my veggies, and just so versatile depending on how you want to use it and how you want to incorporate it into your routine. I could not be more grateful. I could not be more thankful to each and every single one of you, not only for supporting me, but for supporting my brand. Like, it just truly means the absolute world. And I'm so happy that you guys love the product so much. Like, that really, at the end of the day, is the biggest testament. Just seeing all of your reviews, hearing all of your positive experiences,